Good afternoon, I'm David Horwitz. One of those juveniles is now under arrest and the other is now in the hospital. Western Mass News reporter Glenn Kittle is live in Springfield with more on this entire investigation. Glenn?
David, here's the information that we know right now. At around 8:30 this morning, Springfield police responded to an assault at John F. Kennedy Middle School. Police sharing with us that one female juvenile was placed under arrest after police arrived on the scene, and one male juvenile was transported to Bay State to evaluate possible injuries. That's all the information we have right now. However, we'll continue to keep you updated with the latest information as it enters our newsroom. Reporting live in Springfield, Glenn Kittle, Western Mass News.